Work in progress.
We'll start with the prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Does anybody have any question? So in the last class, we were discussing that um, there is something called difference in degree. There is something called difference in kind. The example we gave was, let's say, horse and a donkey. A race horse and an ordinary horse are different in degree, but a donkey and a horse is different in kind. Similarly, light and darkness are different in degree, not in kind. Absence of light is darkness. So they are different in degree. Similarly, with respect to the terrestrial world, any knowledge when compared to something lower is positive, is knowledge. The same thing becomes ignorance where when it's compared to something higher. As he says in mathematics, the same point becomes negative with reference to a positive point. 4 is negative to 6, positive to 2. Similarly, the knowledge we possess is considered knowledge only with reference to the lower level of knowledge. The same would be viewed as ignorance with reference to the higher level of knowledge. Therefore, all knowledge acquired in the world falls in the realm of ignorance vis-a-vis the absolute knowledge of the self. So we got to keep this at the back of the mind always, that until we discover that absolute truth, that ultimate truth, which we can only understand with the example of with the example. The absolute knowledge we can only understand with the with the help of an example. In the dream world, all knowledges are dreamer. There are different dreamers. In your dream world, in my dream world, there are millions of people in the dream world. Each one of them have certain knowledge. They are they are at certain level of knowledge. There is an Einstein in the dream. There is a Newton in the dream. There is a illiterate in the dream. So compared to all of that, when you wake up from the dream and gain knowledge of the waking state, the knowledge of the waking state is a totally different kind of knowledge compared to all the knowledges in the dream realm. Similarly, all the knowledges that we are transacting in the terrestrial world, it is of different degree with reference to the terrestrial world. But if and when we gain the knowledge of the Supreme, when gain the knowledge, as he says here, knowledge of the self, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, absolute knowledge, that is a different kind of knowledge. Till then, we are in the realm of ignorance. So we must have that humility to keep learning, keep wanting to learn. Time and again, Swamiji has mentioned that he quotes Josh Billings. What does Josh Billings say? The trouble with most folks, that is trouble with all of us, is not so much our ignorance, but the belief, um, I know, belief of knowing things which ain't so. It's not the exact quote, but that's the spirit of it. We believe we know it, but that knowledge is not correct. As long as we have the belief, I know it all, there is no, the shutters of learning is closed. So we got to keep, remind ourselves all the knowledge that we have is only with knowledge of the waking state. There is a higher knowledge when we wake up to the reality, that knowledge will remove all ignorance. Till then, we are um, in the realm of delusion. We some are more knowledgeable, some are less knowledgeable. But from the absolute point of view, it's all ignorance. Thus, when you attain the state of self-realization, so basically keep gaining knowledge, be open, learn, unlearn, relearn, check. It's not like every now and then you give up your convictions and change. Then that is the other extreme, where there is no conviction at all. That's the mind. Keep constantly wavers. Is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Is it right? We're not saying all the time doubt, but be open with the intellect. Whatever we know it. Now every time, every class, every book, every transaction is an opportunity to receive something afresh. Then examine it, whichever makes sense to you, whichever makes sense to your own intellect, follow it. uh, I was traveling last 3 4 days. I met somebody who was saying, he had his own opinion. A very nice guy. He said, I'm an atheist, but he was a thinker and he had some very good values. Um, he was certain very good values he has. The way he was taking care of his workers and staff, where the way he would be sort of content and always learning some good values. But he is a thinker, obviously. From my point of view, I would say he has still not got access to the right type of knowledge, spiritual knowledge. So he said, I'm an atheist. So I immediately said, that's the type of people we want. We don't want people to blindly accept whatever is being said. So he had his own idea about Ramayana and Mahabharata. He was saying, what is Ravana's crime? He only kidnapped. To kidnap a person, will he have, does he have to face death penalty? So he was applying what Ravana did to the current Indian penal code, a unique way of uh, saying what is Ravana's crime and then what is used. So I just listened and then I presented this is what we have learned. But bottom line is all these scriptures, whether Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any scripture, if it is a traditional scripture, we should be careful to quickly start criticizing it. Time tested knowledge. We may not follow it, but we should have that basic respect. What is it trying to say? Then I gave a few examples why Ekalavya thumb was cut. And then he started realizing that, okay, there is a way of interpreting the scriptures. Who is interpreting the scriptures that matters. The scriptures are perfect. They are given for us to understand and follow a way of life. So if now, why I'm giving the example is, suppose that person has his own view about Ramayana and Mahabharata and remains fixed with it. Whatever I say is closed. Then there is no way of improving. Fortunately, that guy was open and he was listening. So the point is, we have to appreciate, as long as we are in this waking state and not gain this absolute knowledge of the self, as long as we are susceptible to agitation, suffering, confusion, a sort of feeling I don't know what I am doing. We at the absolute level, generally we all know I know what I'm doing, but at the absolute level, where did we come from? Where are we going? What is the meaning and purpose of life? Did the tree come first or seed come first? There is a cloud of ignorance that is all around us. We don't know the finality. So Only when you attain the state of self-realization, your ignorance is completely wiped out. So at least that much humility we must have, that okay, let me learn something. Let me keep learning until we get a confirmation there is absolute knowledge of the self or no knowledge of the self. You become totally free from desire, suffering, and sorrow. We will become totally free of desire, suffering, and sorrow only when we gain the knowledge of the self. And to gain the knowledge of the self, we have to keep removing our desires through higher knowledge. You attain the abode of everlasting bliss. Abode of everlasting bliss is not available in the waking state. Abode of everlasting bliss is not available in the mundane world. Bliss is there. We don't say bliss. Joy is there. Pleasure is there. But it quickly passes away. Hence, the reality discovered in your supreme self is said to be absolute existence, knowledge, and bliss. This is a very, very famous term. Many of Adi Shankaracharya's writings, whether it's the Atma Bodha, whether it's, I don't know whether it mentions in the Bhajagovindam, but many, many places of Atma Bodha, many of his composition has this term, Sat Chit Anand. Sat Chit Anand. I'm just putting it. Sat means absolute existence. Chit is absolute knowledge. Ananda is not the Ananda we experience with our body, mind, intellect. Ananda is absolute bliss. Sort of a infinite, everlasting bliss. That is the designation of Brahman. That is the designation of reality. Like CEO has a person who is CEO. CEO is a designation. What is Brahman? In terms of existence, so we say gross, with reference to the inert objects, they exist. But Brahman is absolute existence. With reference to living creatures, human beings and animals, we are conscious. Plants are also conscious, but very, very minimal. Animals and human beings, our awareness, our consciousness of whatever we are experiencing is very, very, it's a lot. But in terms of awareness, knowledge, consciousness, Brahman, the reality is absolute knowledge. It is the knowing principle with which we know whatever we know. And in terms of, so that is with reference to the subtle body, the mind and intellect, knowledge. Brahman is absolute knowledge. Gross body, which just exists, it's absolute existence. This is, I mean, we don't know what absolute existence is. We know things exist, but this is something which is absolute existence. Ananda, we experience bliss when the mind is quiet. This is absolute bliss. There is no bliss beyond that. So what can we learn from here, or what can we gain from here is, till we experience something like this absolute knowledge, we must remain humble. We must keep our shutters of learning open. We still don't know what is what. And fortunately, we have the example. A dreamer, until he has the knowledge of the waking state, he is in the realm of ignorance. Same way, as long as we are stuck in the waking world, we are in the realm of ignorance. Now we have to wake up. How to wake up is what will follow. Any questions, anyone? Okay. The infinite state of existence, knowledge, bliss, Sat Chit Anand, is your essential being. Our true self is that Sat Chit Anand. There is this song, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa, Chidananda. It's similar. Absolute, my true nature is absolute existence. My true nature is absolute knowledge. My true nature is absolute bliss. If you feel inspired, very good. If you don't feel inspired, continue. At some point, we have to feel inspired by such statements. Your intrinsic nature is your intrinsic nature. Everything else is sort of false nature, acquired nature. We believe we are something else, but our intrinsic nature, what we really are, is Sat Chit Anand. Yourself, Atman. The self in me, the self in you, the Atman, the intrinsic nature of the Atman is Satchit Anand. So that's why I put the topic of today's topic as who am I? This Satchit Anand we are constantly referring to as I. The presence of I is something very, very unique. I'm giving the same examples which I've given earlier. Suppose in a suppose inside a cave, one person goes, I think recently only I was saying, anyways, we have to repeat it. Um, one person goes and starts meditating. It's a dark, quiet cave. Dark, no light, quiet, no noise. And there are others also meditating. And you also try to keep your mind vacant of all thoughts and you're trying to remember whatever, some God. You're just trying to keep quiet. After a while, if you're genuinely, sincerely concentrating, meditating, there will be a doubt whether others are there or not because you can't see anything, you can't hear anything. You are completely in your own world. Completely. Own world means no thoughts, no perception. Seeing is gone. Only thing is uh, you're just aware you're sitting down. Now, there could be a doubt whether others are there in the room or not. But there cannot be a doubt whether you are there or not. That, I can't say feeling, that awareness that I am there, that is the real I. That I is always there with us. But the problem is, we never experience that I in its pure, unconditioned form. We are always experiencing, we cannot be without that I. That I is always there. Even in sleep, that I is there. Um, the example of Swami Ramatirtha. There was a crime committed, and the police arrested a suspect. And the suspect, crime committed, there was a murder that happened. There was a murder, and the police arrested a suspect, and the suspect was taken to the judge. And in his defense, the suspect was saying, "Sir, at the time of the murder, no one was there." Priyanka, you know what that means? Can he say that? At the time of murder, no one was there.
So not able to think.
Okay,
I
no
mean, are
problem.
you talking about the self in
No,
in
no,
all
no,
of
not self.
us?
In this example, when that criminal said in his defense that the criminal was arrested for a murder. I mean, so, he wasn't convicted as a criminal, but the criminal was arrested for a murder. And in his defense, he's telling the judge at the time of the murder, no one was there. Who else? Medhavi Adam.
But he says he was there.
He was there. So you cannot say nobody was in the room unless you are there. Somebody has to be there to say now that there is nobody. Nobody was there means somebody has to be there. So similarly, even in deep sleep, we say I had a disturbed, or when we wake up, we say I had a disturbed sleep, or I had a sound sleep, I had a good sleep. Something in us is there to register that my sleep was disturbed or my sleep was deep. That's the very, very subtlest that we can go. There is something which is there all the time throughout, but we are not aware of it. We are not aware of the pure, unconditioned, unqualified, unmodified, without any qualification. That pure I, we don't know. All our eyes are conditioned. I am Basab. I am whatever. I am short. I am tall. I am overweight or underweight. I am intelligent. I am happy. All the time we are coloring the I. But we just can't stay with just I. And that is the great teaching of Swami Ramana Maharishi. Who am I? Nanya. Find out what is that pure I. Who is this person walking? In your own way, you have to bring this thought into your day-to-day life. Let it happen naturally, but here and there you should practice it even mechanically. Don't practice it mechanically throughout the day. That is the formula for going mad. But just to introduce it to practice it in a natural, organic way. Here and there, you can practice it. What Swamiji says, synchronization. While brushing the teeth, instead of worrying about something, how will I make more money, or what will happen to that problem, or how will I do this, at least the person who I'm looking at, who is this person I'm looking at? This beautiful picture in the mirror, or the ugly picture in the mirror. Who is this person? Vedanta, you can say, okay, I am the waker, I am not this. While showering, instead of again, we're getting lost in some worry and anxiety, okay, who is this person? I mean, of course, you can positively think also that I am the self taking shower, or in a more humble, practicing way, who is this person taking shower? Who is this person walking? Who is this person eating? Who is this person talking? Who is this person walking? You're just going a little bit deeper into yourself. Or you can say it starts with a mechanical repetition because you have heard in the class, or you kind of make sense in the when you study the books. But then you try to practice it. What is this I? What is this I? Who is this all about? So I'll read out and then I'll explain this. So our role is to clinch the I, but now instead of clinching that I, we are coloring and modifying that I am a child. So this is with reference to different stages of life. At one point I said I am a child. Then I said I am a boy. I am a man. I am an old man. In every stage of life, see, the child is definitely different from the boy, is definitely different from the man, is definitely different from the old man. All the different bodies can be put together. All the bodies are different, but they are equated to that one I. That I is there in every stage of life. Then he goes on to the experiences. It's a very, very interesting thought that we feel, oh, such a big world and such a world and this and that, Milky Way and universe and all that. But philosophically, this whole world is nothing but perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. Just 7 things. 7 things meaning the 5 perceptions and the different thoughts and emotions. This world is nothing but we are seeing the world, we are hearing the world, we are smelling the world, we are tasting the world, we are touching the world. And then there is that's the external world. And then there is the inner world of thoughts and feelings. So one by one, if you close down all the perceptions, this is an experiment which Swami Ramatirtha does in one of his lectures. He says, you feel the world is so solid and real, but it's nothing but perceptions. You close your eyes, 1/5 of the world is gone. Don't close your ears now, but if you close your ears, 2/5 of the world is gone. Close your nose, 3/5 is gone. Taste to any, okay, taste you close. Only thing you remain is something physical, like that in person in meditation. He can't hear anything, he can't see anything, he can't smell anything, taste anything, but he may be aware that he is sitting somewhere, some touch is going on. Suppose touch is also gone. There is no physical world. You will just remember some thoughts and feelings. Suppose the body is completely, see, sometimes it happens, it has happened accidentally. They put general anesthesia, so the body is kind of disconnected. You're not aware of the body, but some hot water is there and the skin is burning, but you're disconnected, so you're switched off. So through the subtle body cannot operate without the gross body. Medical science is only tampering with the physical body. So when the physical body is not there, what subtle body cannot do anything. I may want to run fast by my body. My mind may be very, very active. I want to run, I'll run 50 kilometers now. But the physical body must be available. So so medical science cannot, medicine's gross cannot control the subtle. We are studying knowledge. The knowledge will have an impact on thoughts and feelings. And as we change our thoughts and feelings, see, now we are not exercising our physical body, right? I'm not developing the physical body, but we are trying to change so Swamiji says, we are trying to rehabilitate, reconstitute, rebuild our fallen mind and intellect. The mind and intellect is impure. The mind is unstable. The intellect is not sharp. It's not clear. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of ignorance. So by studying the scriptures through Shravana and Manana, we are making the mind more stable, pure, calm, and the intellect more strong, clear, alert. Once the subtle body changes, automatically it will take care, take care of the gross body. Gross cannot control the subtle. It's a law. Medicines cannot change your mind and intellect. It will only tamper with your uh, physical level, whatever. It will do something with your hormones and whatever the chemicals in the body. Once the body sorts out, then you'll have to sort out the mind and intellect. So ultimately, you will have to come back to knowledge to sort out the subtle body. So if the perceptions is all cut, there is no physical world. What you are left with is the inner world of feelings and thoughts. Now you switch off feelings and thoughts. That's the deep sleep. You are in coma. Nothing. There is absolutely nothing. So this physical world is nothing but perceptions. Physical world is only perceptions. Our experiences. See, our experience in deep sleep, there is only an experience of nothingness, a complete void. Think about it. All this makes us very, very sort of philosophical. All this makes us at least become aware as to what is happening. Those who are not even aware of this, we will say they are completely lost. Completely lost in the quagmire of perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. We are also lost, but what is that? Perhaps, hopefully, the advantage, big advantage is I know I am lost. One person is living in the jail, happily living in the jail, family and all that he is made, but he is inside the jail. Now we are also doing the same thing, but we know we are inside the jail. I have to break free. I'm caught up by the body, mind, intellect. I'm bound by the walls of time, space, causation. That's why Swamiji used to tell us, not tell us, yeah, he used to say, he used to refer to that movie of, it is one of his favorite movies, Shawshank Redemption. In Shawshank Redemption, we don't watch it in the ashram because the language is very, very sattvic language. Tamasic language, actually. Tamasic or rajasic language, vulgar language. But very, very, this guy for almost 20 years kept digging. And finally, after 20 years, he escaped from the prison. Incredible dhriti, determination and consistency. So, others also are also part of the world. Those who are spiritual seekers, sadhaks, they are also part of the world. But the sadhaks know that we are lost in the quagmire of perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. Others are just lost in the quagmire of perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. They don't know that they need to do something about it. So, all this gives you that subtlety, gives you that insight. Okay, either I am in the deep sleep state of consciousness, where I am experiencing nothingness like a coma, or I am in the dream world or waking world. Both the dream world and the waking world is nothing but perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. And so that's the seven type. You may say I am very happy, I am sad, but that's a feeling of the mind. Either we are experiencing the mind, some sort of a feeling which could be positive or negative, happy or sad, or there is some intellectual experience of understanding or not understanding, feeling honored or dishonored, feeling successful or failure. Some intellectual experience is happening, some emotional experience is happening, or some physical experience is happening, which is the perceptions. Now, the point is, whatever experience we go through, I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I touch. I feel love, I feel hatred, I feel anger, I feel grateful, I understand, I don't understand. In all of it, the I is there. And if you take each of them one by one, what has seeing got to do with hearing? It's very funny, no? Suppose my eyes are paining. Okay, today I won't use my eyes to see, I'll use my ears to hear. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Eyes is for seeing, ears is for hearing. You can't exchange it. But that I is there, that pure aware, that mysterious I factor says, I am seeing. Who's seeing? The same person says, I am hearing through the ears. I am smelling through the nose. I'm seeing the perceptions. Really, you start wondering who created seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting? Who designed the organs? How is this all happening? But there is some pure awareness, some magical power or principle, impersonal energy, which is there. That power which makes my eyes to see is the same power that makes your eyes to see. That pure eye, which for me, I am thinking this is Basap. Basap is seeing, Basap is hearing. The scripture is saying, no, it's the Atman that really hears. It's the Atman that really sees. That pure eye, we are conditioning it with the ego. But that pure eye is there behind all perceptions. I smell, I taste, I feel, I think. So, first one was the different stages of life. That pure eye, God is there in every stage of life. These are all meant for contemplation. The more you contemplate, the more you will feel, more we are getting closer to the self. In the Atma Bodha, there is a topic which says segregate. I'll take you there one second. Should be here. Where is Atma Bodha? Okay. Now, go to Atma Bodha. See, the third topic, by discriminative self-analysis, separate the self from the matter equipments. And then there is through the process of negation and assertion and meditation, realize the self. Through discriminative self-analysis is what we are doing now. Becoming very, very acutely aware as to what is happening, what type of experiences we are going through. This knowledge will help us to kind of become more aware and actually separate. Separate means not physically, but okay, there is a body, mind, intellect. Body is perceiving and acting, mind feels, intellect things. And then there is something maybe beyond, which is we just can become aware of it. We cannot really capture it. There is the self which is separate. Matter is separate, spirit is separate. Then the next level of practice is you actually negate the false, which is the body, mind, intellect, and assert the truth, the divine self. So here we are here becoming more aware that pure self is there in every stage of life. The body is changing. The child's feelings and thoughts are not the old man's feelings and thoughts. Neither when we are young, what we were thinking and feeling when we were in school is different from what we are doing now. And then if the different types of experiences, the I is there. I perceive, I feel, I think. And then the different states of consciousness. I am the person in the waking state. Right now, I believe I am Basap. All of you similarly believe I am Sangeeta, I am Priya, I am Tanaz. We believe that in the waking state, we almost have no doubt that I am this person. But the moment you go to the dream state, somebody may think I am Hema Malini, another person may think I am Roger Federer. We could assume a completely, totally different personality. I could be married. The Swamiji jokingly says all married men dream they are bachelors and all bachelors dream they are married. If I have a big loan in the waking state, I may dream that I won a lottery. I may be a swimmer in the waking state. There may be COVID in the waking state, but I don't know swimming in the dream state, or I could learn. So there is no connection between the two states. The personality could be different. Usually, our experiences and usually the memories of the waking state get color our dream. If you really start remembering that you were a totally different person, that's what happened to King Janaka. King Janaka, he did not leave that, what we can say, hook. Swamiji says we get hooks all the time. This class is a hook. If you are really understand what is being said, that there is an I and then everything else is going around. Everything else that is going around, if all the other experiences that the I is experiencing is actually coloring the I, it will really wake us up. But I guess if it doesn't wake us up suddenly, it should wake us up slowly. Janaka it was a powerful experience for him. Am I the beggar now dreaming I am a king? Or am I the king who just dreamt he was a beggar? Because waking dream state, we dismiss it. Now, which is a dream? Is this a dream? Am I taking this class in the dream? Or am I awake and you have all come to the class? So, but the I is there. I am taking the class. I am playing tennis in the dream. And then in the dream sleep state, we also covered the I is there. I had a good sleep. I did not have a good sleep. So the I, so now the deep sleeper is a big zero. Dreamer is a beggar. Waker is a king. That's why King Janaka's Guru Ashtavakra said, O king, you are not the king, the waker. You're not the waker, you're not the king. You're not the dreamer, you're not the beggar. You're not the deep sleeper, you're not zero. See, waker is like 6, dreamer is like 4, deep sleeper is like 0. How can 6 be 4 and both of them be 0? No, the I is something else. The I is playing the role of the waker in the waking state. The I is playing the role of the dreamer in the dream state. The I is playing the role of nothing in the deep sleep state. But the I is something different. That I never leaves you. The self has been with you forever. So this is something, it should give a lot of relief. It's not that I have to go somewhere and get the I. It's not like I have to learn. I'm saying something worldly. It's not like I have to buy a piano and start learning to play piano and then become a great piano player. No. Self is not like that. The self we are already, but there is a forgetfulness, dementia. Now, through it's a long and deep forgetfulness. It's not going away easily, but we have to keep remembering the self. In and through whatever we do, don't lose sight of the self. Don't forget the self. Keep in touch with the self. The self is already, we are in touch with the self, but we are not aware of it. Now, how to get that awareness, we don't know. So the more we are aware of the body, mind, intellect, we are kind of lost in perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. As we are dealing with our body, mind, intellect, we must try and regain awareness of the self. How that lion, which believed it was a sheep, how it listened to the master, and he was always, where is that lion? Imagine that sheep is saying, where is that lion? He's looking at his own reflection and says, who is this? Similarly, we have to keep reflecting. Where is this self? Where is this self? I am the self, but I'm not able to figure out that I am the self. But this is of great relief. Hopefully, this is true. It is true, but we have to figure it out for ourselves. The I never leaves you. The self. So God never leaves us, but we blame God. Oh, you left us. You're not taking care of you. These are all emotion, but hopefully, see, there is one man. It's like poetic saying. There was a man walking on the sea beach on the sand. He is leaving his footprints, and suddenly you look back. This is the footprints of his life, the sands of time. He's walking. He looked back and he saw that whenever he was going through a happy time, there were two sets of footprints. Whenever good things were happening in his life, two sets of footprints were there. Whenever there was difficult times, when he had all tragedies happening in his life, there was one pair of footprints. So one pair of footprint was God's, another pair of footprint was his. So he got really upset. He said, God, what is this? All the times when there were some good things are happening in my life, you are always with me. And the moment there is tragedy and bad things will happen, you leave me and go. Then what did God answer? Because here we are intellectually studying that God never leaves you, right? So what did God answer to that? To this person's complaint? Once again.
He carried him in his arms.
Yeah. When the tough times were there, God was actually carrying us. So see, scriptures are saying, this is like a Mahavakya. The I never leaves you. Now, can you find out anything? So you can do a homework. Can you find out anything outside these experiences? stages of life are covered. So every stage of life, he says, I. I'm studying in school, I'm studying in college, I'm doing this. So every stage of life also, I. Every experiences is I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I think, etc. And then philosophically, different states of consciousness also. If you're dreaming, also you say I. In the waking state, also we are saying I. In the deep sleep state, we can't say, but when we wake up, we say, oh, I had a good sleep. Deep sleep state, if you say something, means you're awake. You can't say, but the I is there. I never leaves you. The I has been with you forever. This is so relieving. Nobody can steal the self from you. You can never lose it. Oh, I lost the self. I have to find it. No, no, you are the self. We are only trying to find ourselves by ourselves. That's why that Sufi saying helps. It's so nice. Um, I tried to find myself and I found God. I tried to find God. I found myself. I tried to find myself. Who am I? I found God. I try to find God. Ultimately, you'll find your real self. Nevertheless, you believe you have lost yourself. That's the frustrating part of it. This is helpful. Okay, I will never leave. God will never leave me. The self cannot leave me. Self is always with me. I cannot lose the self also. But then I'm not experiencing the self. I'm not aware of the self. You feel bound by the limitations of the body, mind, intellect, and persecuted by the ever-changing world. This is an erroneous belief. Let's stop here. I wanted to come take the class physically, but a little bit of last 3-4 days not been that well. Throat is not good, so then I thought, okay, we not. I mean, no exertion, but then in the same room, one person is sick, so little shorter class. The erroneous belief is that we think the self has got conditioned. The erroneous belief is that it's like practically that Hari the lion which is born and brought up as a sheep from birth, it thinks that it's a sheep. Now it is actually a lion. Now for the sheep, the lion guru is telling you, you are the lion, you can never lose the lion. Then why are you not aware of it? Now how will he change his awareness that I am not a sheep, I am a lion? The fact that he believes I am a sheep and he's suffering what all a sheep suffers, that is an erroneous belief. Yes, body, mind, intellect is there, and the body, mind, intellect is going through the ego, the individuality is going through the 3 states of consciousness, going through a different, each one script is different, going through certain experiences of life. But in and through that, there is something which is constant, which is eternal, which is omnipotent. We are that. Vedanta and the practices must make us more aware of it. So one is the more awareness and one is the other is the detachment part of it. Okay, any questions? Otherwise, we'll end with the prayer. Sorry. Um, sorry, connection had gone. Does anybody know? So when a phone data is being used, a phone call comes, the connection goes, even if it's on do not disturb. Um, okay, if there are no questions, we'll end with the prayer. Namada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, thank you. Hari Om.
Niyam, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's
Hariom Master ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar. Take care.
Thank you, uncle. Yeah, I will.